Hi, I'm Pablo. I'm one of the trainers of this city of Central Point. I teach Pilates, strength and conditioning, personal training. But what sets me apart from everybody else is that we tap into the nervous system, okay? And we do this whether your goal is to gain weight, to move better, to be a better athlete, to be faster, bigger, stronger, it doesn't matter. The principle is the same, whether you are a grandma trying to keep up with your grandchildren, somebody older just trying to get around the house better, and again, an athlete just trying to perform better. Our basic approach always is to work with the proprioceptive system, your body. The proprioception is all these sensors throughout the body, especially in the joints, that send information to your brain, okay? Proprioception tells your body where you are in space, okay? So, we're gonna talk about neurology a little bit. We're gonna do exercises on other videos. But this is a really important concept. It won't take long. Just pay attention, hang on. And this may give you a few answers if you have issues, okay? This is a brain. Let's imagine that's a brain. This is your primitive brain, yeah? Cerebellum and the brainstem, okay? The primitive brain in there, it's dark. It doesn't have eyes like this guy does, yeah? It relies on information. What the inner brain does is takes care of all the basic, the number one priority of your brain is to keep you alive. So it does that in there, okay? The second function is movement. And this is really, really important because movement stimulates learning, for example. Yeah, it's really, really cool. For kids, ADD, ADHD, whatever, yeah, that'll be good. Anyway, okay, so let's make this a simple analogy. If I tell you to come over to my house, I probably have to give you my address, and you're gonna punch it into your phone, and voila, all of a sudden you have where you're going, how long is it gonna take to get you here, and how fast you're gonna go, right? Okay. For your phone to be able to give you that information, it needs 3 satellites, at least 3 satellites in space that triangulate that information and sends it to your phone in the form of a map and all this information, okay? If we were to only have 2 or 1 or 2 or 1 of them are damaged, that information that gets to your phone would probably not make it very accurate. Does that make sense? Okay, simple example. The same way, our reptilian brain relies on information from the outside world to process it and then give an output. This is really important. Everything we do, absolutely everything we do, comes in as input, then it is processed, and then we have an output. Output, for example, pain is an output of the brain. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're hurt. It can mean you're hurt, though. But anyway, we'll get to that maybe another video. That's a pain. We'll do a video on pain. Anyway, so like I mentioned in the beginning, we usually worry about our bodies and work out and go to the chiropractor and do all these things that have to do with our bodies, right? Okay, so we said that our proprioceptive system sends information to the brain to where you are in space. Okay. That's the first satellite. The other satellite we'll talk about is vision. Okay? Peripheral vision is very important. And I'm not talking just about going to the doctor and have your eyes checked. It's how you move your eyes. If they're the 6 muscles around the eye are flexible and strong enough to move properly. You may think they are, but they may not be. Okay? And then we're gonna have our inner ear. Okay? Our balance system. Our inner ear is connected to our cerebellum, and both the inner ear and the eyes are connected to our neck muscles. And this is for a very, very primitive purpose, or reflex. The cringe. Protection. Yeah? That's as primitive as we can go. Always try to protect yourself. This happens with an injury over a long period of time. Your body retracts that shoulder over time. Yeah, brings it closer to your body. Then you lose the range of motion. You know, you may have pain with it. So we have our vision, we have our inner ear, and then we have our proprioceptive system. Okay. The way we try in the way in which we triangulate all this information, the output from your body will be movement. Okay, let's go to the extreme case of an athlete. Let's say an ice skater. Okay, and they can move really fast and they can spin around and stop in a dime and not fall, and their movements are very, very precise. They have an amazing combination of these 3 systems. A running back, running with the ball and moving in a way that no one else can catch him. That's the extreme. The other side, we can go to Miss Jones, that she's starting to shuffle her feet. Yeah? Because she doesn't feel safe to be able to lift her brain, I should say, her reptilian brain doesn't get enough information from the outside world, so it doesn't let her take a step in which she needs to balance and move her entire body. So the easier version is to keep contact with the ground and shuffle. Okay. Let's talk about an old injury, something that happened when you were 15. You went skiing and you hurt your knee and had surgery, and you're 45 now, and that knee, once in a while still bothers you. There's still that cringe going on between your brain and your knee. So the way in which we clear all these paths, the output may be pain or not. It may just buckle, or it may be very painful. It depends how your body interprets what happens. Remember, it's a process. Anything in the middle is process, and it's perception by your brain. It not necessarily has to be true, but it may perceive it is, if that makes sense. Okay? So, knowing this, okay, we add these 2 satellites into our way of training. But that's for another video. This is applied mostly on a one-on-one basis with me, but in my classes I will go back to this, and I explain it regardless of what it is, if it's Pilates, if it's strength and conditioning. I will mention something about the nervous system, that what we're doing. But it will make you feel stronger. It will make you have more of a presence of the moment. Movement and cognition are directly related. That's why it's important to move. All right, till the next one.